The Elves and the Shoemaker. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a kind shoemaker and his wife. Though they worked hard, they barely made enough money to get by. One evening, the shoemaker sighed as he looked at his last piece of leather.
This is all we have left. I will cut it tonight and sew the shoes tomorrow.
He carefully shaped the leather and left it on his workbench before going to bed. The next morning, when he went to start his work, he found a beautiful pair of shoes already stitched and polished.
What is this? These shoes are perfect. But who could have made them?
Before he could wonder too long, a wealthy customer entered the shop.
These are the finest shoes I've ever seen.
The man handed over a pouch of gold coins. With the money, the shoemaker bought more leather and cut out pieces for 2 pairs of shoes that evening. The next morning, to his amazement, 2 pairs of elegant shoes sat on the workbench, neatly finished. Again, customers arrived and paid double the price of what the shoemaker usually gets for them. Night after night, the same thing happened. The shoemaker would leave cut leather, and by morning, beautifully crafted shoes would appear in their place. Curious, the shoemaker and his wife decided to hide in the workshop one night to discover who was helping them. As the clock struck midnight, the door creaked open, and in skipped 2 tiny elves. They wore ragged old clothes but worked skillfully, sewing and stitching with incredible speed. In no time, they finished the shoes and disappeared into the night. "The elves have been helping us all along," whispered the shoemaker's wife. "But look at their poor clothes. They must be very cold, especially during winter. We must do something for them." That evening, instead of leaving out leather, the shoemaker and his wife carefully stitched 2 tiny outfits, warm tunics, soft trousers, and little boots to match. They placed the clothes on the workbench and hid once more. At midnight, the elves arrived and found the gifts. Their eyes sparkled with joy as they dressed in their fine new clothes. "We are free to go," one elf cheered. The other nodded. "Our work here is done. The shoemaker no longer needs us." With happy laughter, the elves danced out the door and never returned. From that night on, the shoemaker and his wife made shoes themselves after studying how the elves made them. Though they never saw the elves again, they always remembered the kindness that had changed their lives.
Moral of the story: generosity and kindness create a cycle of goodwill, and even the smallest help can make a big difference.